After I got out of high school, I stayed home on the farm for 1 year, and then I went to University of Wisconsin at Madison, and should have had sense enough to take ROTC, but I didn't. So then when I graduated in '51, why I took the O.C.S. tests and got a commission the hard way. And I was in ordnance out at, not Belvoir.
Out in Ohio, wasn't it?
Well, I got transferred after I got my commission. Incidentally, there were 87 of us in the class and 27 of us graduated, and they did fleck a few of them out. And when I was down at Lama Ordnance Depot where they modified armored vehicles, and that was fun because they have a military and a civilian chief, and the civilian chief retired about a month after I got there, and the colonel kind of liked me, so he never replaced him. So I had this engineering shop with, I think there were 3 project engineers and 6 draftsmen, and we just had a good time. I never flunked an exam in my life, but one. The Navy had a deal. You went out to Newport for 6 weeks, and you were an ensign. And if you had an engineering degree like I had. But you had to take this test. The test was quarter mechanics, quarter mathematics, 50% vocabulary. As I said, I wasn't educated when I got out of college. And my odds of my guessing, and I guess that day wasn't the best, because the commandant or commander, whatever they call him, called me and he said, I want to talk to you because your exam is unusual. I said, oh. He said, you scored perfect in the 2 items, but you did so badly in vocabulary that you missed it by 1 point. And that's why I didn't get in the Navy. And 2 weeks later, they sent me this dumb letter and basically said, we have lowered our standards, we'll even take you now. I would, after that insulted me, never failed an exam in my life, God damn it. Remember one night at retreat, I had a new pair of khakis, but I hadn't got them shortened. And so I had to have a clean pair, and that's all I had. So the night before, I took my steam iron, and I folded the cuff back up under, and I steamed the devil out of it. And we fell out for retreat. And the old sergeant had us open ranks, and he walked back through. And I thought, oh shit, I bet I'm stepping on those goddamn things. And he goes back out in front. Kreul front and center. Oh boy. So I marched out there, he points at he said, no, that's the exact length of trousers I want everybody to have. They're perfect. The minute I got back in the barracks, I unfolded them, and I said, you heard him.
They were perfect.
Another amusing incident got to be senior candidate, and then you do the inspections. And I was doing this one barracks, had this kid tall, and what do I find on his windowsill but a dead fly? Candidate, what are you going to do about that dead fly? He responds, sir, when this formation's over, we're going to hold a funeral. Jesus, I wanted to laugh. But by God, he held a funeral. You asked for it. I followed through and let him do it. My dad was a charter member of the post here at Fenimore, and it was formed in December of 1919. So when I got out of service, I didn't go right into the American Legion. I worked down at Fairbanks Morse at Beirut for a couple of years, and Dad's health was failing a little bit, and my brother was too young to take it over, and this place was for sale, and I loved working on the farm and being with my brothers and cousins, and I decided to come back home And so in 56, I believe it was, when they started the membership drive for the post, my dad took me up and he said, I'll pay your road dues for the first time, and after that it's going to be your responsibility. And that's when I joined. Never attended the meeting, as I recall. Got a notice that they had put me, nominated a committee that selected me for adjutant. And they had always two. I forget who the other fellow was. So I didn't go to the meeting. I didn't get elected. That was fine with me. Next year they put me on again. And I got elected. And that's how I got started in the Legion. I've got to know what it was about, and served 2 terms as adjutant, then went on as post commander and county commander and on up the ladder. Back in 1960, when I got to be post commander, we decided that we had a bunch of active World War IIs, and we ought to have a project. And so we did a little brainstorming among ourselves and some of the leaders, and decided that the community needed a nursing home, so our old people didn't have to go out of town to find a home when they got in trouble. We worked on that for 5 or 6 years. We even bought a parcel of land, the city block that was for sale for $5,000, borrowed the money from an auxiliary lady, had fundraisers, a big horse show down in Lancaster. And then we ran across a place called the Good Samaritan Society from out in the Dakotas. And the community, they wanted to go on a community, the community would contribute $1,000 a bed plus 5 acres of land. They'd come in, build a nonprofit home. So that's what we did. We had to raise $68,000. We decided we wasn't going to take pledges, we was going to raise the money or bust. So we put together some teams and had a rally at the hall up. And you know, in 2 weeks' time, we had $84,000 in the bank. Hard, cold cash, not promises, but money. So that's an example of what the Legion can do if they get organized and work at it, set their goals. Of the 5-member committee that honchoed it, I'm the only one living. The rest of the other 4 are gone. And of course, I campaigned for 2 years before I got elected, which is normal. And the convention was out at Seattle. Things went fairly smooth, and I got elected. First shot out of the den was to Sitka, Alaska, for a conference in Alaska.
In Sitka?
Sitka. And they took us out on a boat ride, and my wife was with her. And the eagles here, we have eagles here, but they have about a 4-foot wingspan. Those babies up there have got an 8-foot wingspan. Oh, they're big. And you sat on that boat, and I counted 80 from just one spot. Had a meeting scheduled with General P.X. Kelly, I think it was, Commandant of the Marine Corps, and he made the point that he lost more Marines in a year off the American highways than we did with that tragedy in the barracks. But we don't even think about it or talk about that. I thought that was kind of interesting. In that area, it's difficult to, I certainly wouldn't want to say that I knew the solutions. That was getting pretty hot at that time in '84, and I said to the staff, I want to visit El Salvador. And so I come back next month, and they said they checked it out with the Department of State, and they said, no, that would be a bad idea. I said, did you check with Secretary Weinberg of the Department of Defense? He said, no. I said, well, check with him. He thought it'd be a great idea. So we did visit El Salvador, and it's, we sat in a beautiful hotel, and you walk out the front door, and you really didn't notice him until you saw all of a sudden looked. Underneath that palm tree out there was this armed soldier with the bandolier ammunition standing at the ready. When we traveled to the ambassador's house for lunch, why, standing in the basement down, and they'd say, here comes the ambassador, and somebody else would appear. Here comes the ambassador now. No, there's somebody else appear. And this black limousine sat over here with the doors riddled with bullets because it was a naval officer that had got killed about 2 weeks before I was down there, or assassinated. And we flew out in a helicopter out to Bush, where there was one of the Army's veterans of theirs that was on our side, and he fought with the troops, and he had a very, very respected. And unfortunately, they got him 2 weeks after we left. So it was hot at that time, but we did prevail. I think Central America is a little better and more sophisticated, I guess we might say, than the Mideast. The Mideast, I don't know, you can beat them over the head today and they come back for more tomorrow. I think they strongly supported the president. That was an election year, of course. He was running against Mondale. And the American Legion, from its inception, had always had the two candidates that always spoke at their convention. So that was the convention at Seattle. Mm-hmm. No, it was the convention at Salt Lake City. And we couldn't get a response out of Mondale's crew that he was. And I kept on trying to get through to him, and we couldn't get through to him. So I said, called Phil Reagan was legislative director. I called Phil and said, Phil, that was on Sunday, I believe. I said, you get a hold of the most powerful members we got on that legislative council. And you call them and you get them to get a hold of Mondale and tell them, we want him out here. Monday night I got back to the room. I had a call from Spinoza. He said, guess what? I just got a call. Mondale wants to know when can we take him. So we do have power, but I was a Republican at the time, but on my watch, I wasn't going to break that tradition. You can't legislate patriotism. It has to come from the heart. It has to be instilled in each one of us by our parents and by our school teachers. And to pass an amendment just puts a focus. It makes the flag something it's not. My flag out here is my flag, and I fought proudly. If some SOB wanted to do something and destroy it, I can assure them one thing: there'll be a brighter new one up tomorrow morning. They can't destroy that. He can physically destroy one flag, but he can't destroy all the thousands of flags. And if you pass that amendment, then you're going to have to live with it, and it's going to create more problems than you can imagine, because Congress will have to write laws explaining what do we mean by desecration. What is a flag? Who owns the flag? And in our preamble we recite for every meeting, we talk about it. 80% of the people want this amendment. My God, we got to do it right today. In our preamble it says, combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, and to make right the master of might.